this video course, I am going to talk about the project life cycle. It starts with how are you going to fund the project? Projects just don't pop out of nowhere. Projects don't just pop out of nowhere. Just think about the pyramids. The kings must have come up with the money somehow. Just like any project, any public state or municipality project, just like any state, federal, or municipal public project, they all need to find funding from somewhere, whether it's from a grant, from the government, or from private donations, or a combination of all three. So you come up with the money and start putting together your vision. And who am I talking about? Typically, it's a group of people. It's not just one person. It could start from one person who introduces the idea to another, and then it goes on until a committee is formed. And then certain people are designated for being the authority, the awarding authority, and the people in charge of the funding. That's the primary part of any kind of project that you rarely ever get to see. If you're building the project, or even if you're managing it, you rarely see it. So, if you're an owner's project manager from the start of the project, you will be involved in every single project life cycle phase. Again, the very initial phase is the feasibility study. Before even coming up with the money, you sort of know where the money is going to come from. But once you have an idea, you should have a little bit of money to hire some professionals to see if the project would be feasible. Since you don't do this every day, you can't really provide even an order of magnitude of what it would cost. So you just basically have to hire someone who has experience and knowledge in cost estimating of the region. When you hire the designer and the designer's consultants, who are disciplines, specialized engineers, licensed engineers in structural, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, they can write up a scope and give you a order of magnitude on each of their scopes. So these feasibility studies are quite involved and quite interesting to read also. They're basically they're basically an introduction and over 50% of what the project really is going to be like. So after the feasibility study, then if they move forward, there's going to be schematic drawings involved also. Schematics are sometimes involved in the feasibility study, but if you're doing it according to some requirements, it's a completely separate phase. So it's feasibility, schematic, conceptual, and design development. The design development is really starting to work on the drawings. And then it doesn't until all those three aspects, schematic, conceptual, and design development, until all these three items are really worked on, including the program, analysis, assessment, goals and objectives, and design principles, that's when you can really start to work on the construction drawings or the construction documents. This is because if one item is altered in the construction documents, it will affect every other item, such as the windows and the structure. They have to be perfectly coordinated by the design team. And if the order that was described earlier was not followed, it makes it more difficult to coordinate the rest of it. And like I said, if one thing changes, it changes all the other disciplines: structural, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection, and a whole host of other items. So please do yourself a favor. Oh, the gypsum board assemblies, which is huge. So do yourself a favor and please follow all of the phases and save yourself money during construction. Thank you.